Hello, you are listening to Skipping the Queue. We're talking about Ultraman Blazar episode 24 today. My name is Red. I'm joined by Mel.
Hello.
And I'm joined by Brad.
Hello. Neither of us had bits this time, oh no.
Yeah, I thought I had one, but I may have forgot it, or it may have been for
there were explosions on the moon, Sonic Adventure 2, I don't know.
I also thought that watched the episode.
No, too late. We're Bitless.
Bitless behavior.
Bitless behavior. We have covering the penultimate episode of Blazar today. I have a brief complaint to make about YouTube.
Yeah. Is it the adblock thing?
No. Which is on mobile. So I was out. I've been. This is going to be the running theme of both podcasts this week. Is I've been busy. I have been preoccupied. Work has been busy. I haven't had a lot of time to do things. And then I had my mom's birthday on Friday, and so I had to go visit. And it's all, I have been preoccupied. And so I watched Blazar about an hour ago in a cafe on my phone. Now, on mobile, you can change the language of the captions. I could not find the option to change the language of the fucking audio. And it defaulted to English, because that's where I live. So I watched this dub. YouTube, fix your shit. Give me the option to just change that on mobile, just from the settings. Stupid. Made me mad. That is my complaint over.
See, what I've been mad about with YouTube is that they've apparently decided if you have ad block running, it just murders your fucking connection. This is despite the fact that, I have the version of YouTube that you, pay a subscription for that takes out the ads anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And it still kills my connection because it says that I have ad block on.
Do you have an ad blocker on for other websites?
Yeah, I can't remember.
That's probably what it is.
Oh, actually, the reason why is because, for work, I wanted to be able to do, my job and shit while also, at some point they locked the ability to, turn off your phone screen and listen to shit without, you had to pay for that version of YouTube. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'm not fucking paying for that, fuck that. And then I went through a week, and I was miserable because I couldn't listen to shit on YouTube, and I was like, God damn it, they got me. And ever since then, I've just paid for YouTube Premium, but not for the fucking no ad thing.
Yeah, I haven't used YouTube Premium for a while.
Yeah.
You know who won't be using YouTube Premium for a while?
Who?
Gento, because he's beaten up and sad and needs a break. But he's also abandoning his family at 4 a.m. to go fight kaiju.
Yeah, his son is like, I'm looking for his new son, different child actor, I presume, from the previous one, because they switch it every time he turns up. I have to assume that this is the case. Why? Shut up. And this mysterious new child is like, I can't wait to see you off in the morning. And Gento's like, yeah, that's going to be great. And just leaves in the middle of the night. It's like, I thought it would be better this way. Why?
Yeah, that's just an asshole move.
Say goodbye to your kid. He's like, it's going to be so hard to say goodbye to my child. What if you die? What if you fucking die? Idiot. Moron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Mom sure did not push back too hard.
No. She's like, he was really looking forward to saying goodbye to you. And Gento's like, I'll wear the bracelet.
I'm wearing the little bracelet. That's basically like saying I love you to my son.
That's basically like being a dad.
That's the lesson that he learned from that one episode.
I like that on his left hand he's got his family covered, right? Because he's got his ring and he's got his bracelet, and he's like, that's it. That's the extent to which I'm a family man. I wear these.
The right hand's for Ultraman.
The right hand's for Ultraman. He's got.
It technically belongs to him.
This is my family hand, and this is my work hand.
If I was making this show, I'd have made Ultraman Blazar a left-hand thing, and I'd have made him take off his wedding ring every time he transformed, just to add some vibes.
Yeah.
He's just like chilling at the bar, and someone's like, "Oh, you're not married," and he's like, "Oh wait, I forgot to put it on." I'm actually just, it's just the ultimate thing.
He comes back home, and she's like, "Why aren't you wearing your ring?" And he's like,
This is the family-focused drama I expected from Blazar when we learned he was a dad. No,
we should have made Blazar. It should have been our show. Anyway,
yeah.
So yes, this episode, penultimate. These last two are basically two-parter. Gento and the gang, Gento and the squad. They're like, well, we got to go fight the kaiju on the moon because
Dome on the moon
is going to blow a hole in the moon to alter the orbit of the moon and send it crashing into Earth. That's how this kaiju gets around in space. It manipulates orbits, and I'm like, that's kind of cool. I like that. That's pretty.
It's
cool.
a neat idea.
I like the design. I like the design of this kaiju. Big fan. The Earth Garon has got mod 4, and everyone's like, oh, so it was always supposed to fight in space. Our commanders always knew that this was what was going to happen, and we've kind of just been led along. And there is a decision made, like Gento's like, we have to go in Earth Garon and fight this kaiju while it's like setting off huge explosives. And he's like, well, we might not come back. And everyone commits that, we're with you. We're with you, Commander. We're with you, Gento. And so he decides, so it's going to be Anri Teruaki in Earth Garon. It's going to be him and Yasunobu in the van. Do they actually have a van with them in space?
I'm very confused. It just seemed like they're in space. This is the thing I didn't get.
I thought they were in like a separate part of Earth Garon.
They might be.
Yeah.
They might be. That might make more sense than what they actually said, which was that.
Because I don't think we see anything else.
they said we're going up. He said he was going up in what is it, Moppy? Which is the van.
Yeah, but also Emmy's in the van.
Emmy is in the van on Earth. Yes, Emmy's on Earth, and Gento's kind of like giving her like, oh yeah, you're gonna see if you can work out a way out of this. Wink, wink. Do your spy shit. Go ahead. And Emmy.
Yeah, they all
all
have their montage of the things they do.
Yes.
Yasunobu does his laundry.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get to see Kururu again.
His best friend.
I had to. So I told this to you too before we started recording, but I watched this with my friend Claire just because we were both happened to be on Discord at the time. I was like, I need to watch this for a podcast. Do you want to join me in watching the penultimate episode for a TV show you have not fucking watched? And she was like, I mean, yeah, I can have it on the background while I'm doing like things in FF14 or whatever. And I had to pause at this moment to explain that this is not just a shot of him talking or of him doing his laundry. This is him saying goodbye to the love of his life. And I don't know if she believed me or not.
Yeah. Yeah, Henri also runs past where the guys were.
Yeah, our guys.
Teraki calls his dad, who might be sick. Who knows if we'll find out.
Mm-hmm.
And then Gento goes to Haruno's house.
Yeah, visit
chilling, retired.
Immediate superior who got fired. He's working in where he's like hanging out in like his big traditional house, and Gento's asking him, hey, can you, we're going to go on a bit of a suicide mission. Can you help out Emmy? She's going to be, I can't stop her from looking into things. And Haruna was like, well, when you get back, you have to keep her in line.
But both of them being like, oh, I'm not taking care of her.
I'm not taking care of her. You do it. I'm busy. One of them is not busy. One of them is not busy. He's hanging
like,
out.
I'm busy being fired. You're welcome, by the way.
You know what? Being fired is busy. That counts. If you've just been fired, that's busy. That counts. Even if you're doing literally nothing all day, you're busy. No one has the right to disturb
doing
you.
nothing but like reading the notebook that the evil guy threw out and burned.
Yes, so the evil guy threw out the notebook and presumably Haruna was just hanging out spying and just picked it out of the bin and
he was like reading the notebook at a baseball stadium with a burning trash can beside him, and then some guy comes up and is like, some kaiju's gonna blow up the moon, and he's like, what? And throws out the notebook and leaves.
Yes.
He then that guy rocks up at mission control for when Earthgaron's going to the moon, and he's like, everyone, settle down, I'm just here for a front row seat of Scud saving the world.
He's like, hey, I'm not in charge, I'm retired, and then proceeds to be in charge.
Yeah.
because that's how it works.
That's how it works. Earthgaron heads to the moon.
We forgot the part where before they go to the moon, Emmy's like, hey, Earthgaron,
Emmy talks to Earthgaron, yes.
Yeah, Emmy talks to Ultraman Veda.
She's like, hey, can you give me the classified secrets? And Garon's like, no. And she's like, I'll be your best friend.
Then he's like, okay, I can, but I can't do it directly. I need to do it through the medium of an SD card. That
is heavily encrypted.
Yes.
It has to not look like I made it easy. It's
Ultraman. You have to work for it.
Oh yeah. This is either being a complete psycho to Ide, just like, you do have to try your best before Ultraman saves you.
Me trying to figure out the password to the encrypted files. Pigmon Squish, Pigmon Pancake, Pigmon Blood. Fuck, what is it?
How did you know all my passwords? So Emmy is like in the van, and she's cracking this SD card while Earthgaron's going to the moon. She gets into the document and she reads about the V99, and before she can like reveal the secrets to us, some guys show up with guns and take her away. That's all we see of her this episode. The rest of the episode is Earthgaron and Ultraman Blazar versus this kaiju on the moon. Earthgaron does some laser stuff, and then the old guy on the ground is like, man, this is boring. Get in there. Fist fight him. And Earthgaron
and just listen. No sense of tactics.
No sense of tactics.
The kaiju's called Varolon, by the way.
Oh, what's it called?
Varolon.
Okay. Earthgaron gets in. Varolon fucks its shit up. This is brand new levels of weak to tails. Because it gives its tail smack, but then it also plants a bomb on you. Yes, it uses its tail to plant orbit altering bombs on you, and it fucks Earthgaron up. Everyone's knocked out except for Gento, and he's like begging Blazar for the opportunity to fight once more, because he needs to, for the sake of everyone on Earth. He transforms into Blazar. He has a fight. He kind of loses. He saves Earth
He
Garon.
gets his ass kicked.
He saves Earth Garon, and then he end of CCAs it. He keeps the moon in orbit.
You can change your destiny.
Yeah. And then he gets kind of fucking murdered.
Well,
by
he's saving the world, and then the kaiju sees this and he's like, "Oh, there's nothing stopping me from like fucking your shit up right now."
Yeah.
And Ultraman just kind of has to deal with it, or else the Earth is just going to get mooned.
If they CCA'd it and the Zaku just came in and were like, actually, we're just going to shoot.
Get his ass.
Oh, society if. This Varelon kind of like vampire drains the energy out of Blazar, and then we get a scene in like White Void where Gento and Blazar get separated, and Gento wakes up in Earth Garon, and Blazar's body is left adrift in space as the orbit of the moon is reset, and the people on the ground say that Varelon is on its way to Earth.
Yeah, we see like Varelon just kind of chilling on a moon rock piece that's headed to Earth.
I see.
Yeah,
I missed that. That's basically where the episode ends.
So all things considered, not good, but infinitely more doable than the moon crashing the Earth, which would just kill everyone. It would just destroy the planet.
It's those tweets. What you doing what would you do in this situation? And it's just the Earth ending, and it's like, well, fucking nothing. What do you mean?
Yeah. I mean, Gento even has that conversation with Jun earlier. He's just like, "Hey, are we gonna evacuate?" And Gento's like, "Evacuation ain't gonna do shit for this one."
Listen, kid, I've known you for about an hour. I'm gonna be real with you.
You watched that Shelter music video? We don't got one of those in the backyard. We're all dead.
Listen, Jun, I'm gonna introduce you to like mid 2010s EDM. I'm gonna make you a Madion fan.
Let me tell you about this guy's brother, or I can't remember how that dude's related to Nick Robinson, but...
Wait, who's related to Nick Robinson?
Porter Robinson and Nick Robinson.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, they're like...
I'm out of my depth here.
They're either brothers or cousins, but it blew my fucking mind when I learned that too, yeah.
I don't know what either of you two are talking about.
YouTube and Nick Robinson scumbag.
I know that part. I just meant the entire like 2 minutes preceding that.
There's a musician named Porter Robinson who
did
prolific.
a song with Madion called Shelter, and there was they got, I can't remember what studio did it, but an anime studio animated the music video. It was a whole it's like it's a thing.
It was like a flash in the pan viral sensation for like a month or two.
Yeah, it must have been because I don't remember it.
Yeah.
I like Madion's album. That's good. I was there. I remember when Icarus dropped on Radio 1. I remember that.
I don't remember when Icarus drops. That was like 2,000 years ago.
Generation Z remembering when Mega Man dropped, but not when Icarus dropped.
Yeah, it's okay. Well, one of those was last week.
Fuck, I had an actual point that I forgot it. Shit.
It was about how Jun is not in a shelter situation. He is not getting saved.
It wasn't about that. What I was gonna say is, all right, penultimate episode. I do like how we have shades of both the Ultra 7, I am tired and beat up as shit, combined with the Ultraman, oh no, our hero is fucking dead / out of the picture, and it's up to the humans to actually like solve the problem.
It's Earth Garon's time. It had better be Earth Garon's time. I'm gonna confess something to you right now. I want this show without Ultraman in it. I want the show about Scarred and their big Mecha Godzilla robot fighting.
You
kaiju.
just want Thunderbirds with the Mecha Godzilla.
Shut
is
up.
What it sounds like.
It's true. I do like.
Join us in 2040 when we start our Brave series podcast.
Oh damn. Oh damn. Yeah.
I just picked a random year.
Okay. So I had assumed 2040, 16 years. All right.
Oh, gee. Oh, no.
No.
Don't say it like that.
Was that a little alarming? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little alarming.
Yeah. So, yeah, I like this episode. I thought it was good.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
I had a good time.
Like
we'll see how the plates are spinning.
yeah, it's definitely like pulling things together in like it's kind of hasty, but like it works. It's fine. I don't mind.
Yeah.
I don't mind. Like we're getting all the pieces are in place, and we're paying off things that have been brought up. I think it's doing a good job so far.
Yeah. I could definitely feel like 25 episodes feels a bit too short to do all the plot and also all the character stuff, which may be why we have like Gendo never sees his kid. But also I think it's probably doing better with the 25 episodes it has than G-Witch.
I sometimes because like I probably feel about this show probably the same thing that I feel about G-Witch, which is that if you doubled the length, I feel like you just get the same problem doubled. I think it would just be kind of the same thing where it's like the issue is sort of like dipping in and out of plot every now and then. Which is just which is one of the methods that you can do one of these. I think the
main thing is I think that, like, if we had like more episodes with Jen with his family, that'd be a bit better.
This is true.
Not that we need to like stretch out the plot a lot, but like,
yeah, I think they really could have just worked it in a little better in the episodes we had. Like, I think you could, like, I think if you just told the writers every week the kid or the wife has to show up.
Yeah.
At some point, I think you could do that.
Or at least in like 3/4 of the episode, because like sometimes you don't need the kid there. Like if it's like I don't think you needed Jun or Sadako in like Yasunobu's laundry adventures, for instance, but like
yeah, this is fair. But I think
it does.
Go ahead.
The fact that it feels like this is like, I feel like this is the 4th episode we've had with them.
Yeah, same.
It's not much. It's like it's really for how we were like
we've
at the beginning.
Del Tandle in this show more
than the kid. Yes. At the beginning of this show, we were like, Dad. We're going dad mode. We did not go dad mode at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? This is unfair. Jun and Sadako have been in the show more than Del Tandle, but less than Gabalga.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
But it is comparable number.
Yes.
Are they gonna be on the kaiju sword? No, that's too mean.
The kid is, because he's a changeling.
True. I see the thing for me is that I don't want to say I'm frustrated by the family thing, but the family thing I'm just like, yeah, that it does end up feeling more like a gimmick as a result. I feel like I'm more bothered by the sprinkling of both there's weird stuff coming from the same place and space that's been paid lip service to like for half of the show, and I honestly end up feeling like that would have been better if they maybe didn't pay, like, if they didn't pay that lip service until the last 4th, I think it would have sat better with me, but it just kind of felt like this weird lingering thing that I thought would be resolved sooner rather than later, and then turned out to be like build up to the final confrontation.
I mean, maybe it's because like I'm poisoned by knowledge of the future, but I kind of like knew, this is gonna be like the thing coming from the place is gonna be the final boss, probably.
Okay,
like that's just my guess. The way they were setting up, I was like, that's final boss is gonna be from the same direction, probably. just because this is the capital P plot. But I wasn't sure how they're gonna make that happen. And it does feel weird that like we had like old guy getting the notebook, and then the next episode was a teriyaki episode, and now the notebooks are showed up again only now.
Yeah, like that's my other thing is I feel like the deep terrible secrets of Scarred and everything involving like
Undercooked.
Emmy's dad, and it just feels so kind of like you said all over the place in some episodes, but also like I kind of whatever the conclusion of this is, I almost wish maybe we got it halfway through and it was something that added to the drama of the rest of you know like you could whatever this revelation turns out to be, you could use for some good character stuff about how this affects everyone's relationship with Scarred and, you know, being part of the team and stuff like that. And it's felt so dragged out that I've kind of, I've tuned out a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of rolled my eyes when those Secret Service dudes showed up, and I was just like, come the fuck on.
It does feel a bit like, okay, I guess we need to have something for the finale, as if the big set piece final boss wasn't enough.
Yeah,
they can't put Emmy in a bubble, but they should.
My sort of this is maybe unfair. This is maybe not a fair comparison to do to any show. But my favorite, the thing I like to remember, the thing I was thinking about when people were saying like, "Oh, G-Wish doesn't have enough episodes," I was like, Psychopaths has 22 episodes. You can do it. It's possible. Like that has cases that aren't that has cases that are kind of they're tied into the plot, but like they're like episodic cases.
Yeah, but I will say there isn't like a golden fix to episode count.
No,
but it's like you need the right episode count is the right one for the story you're trying to tell. But we're kind of stuck with the episode counts we have, and so you kind of have to work around those. And then some things are like genre. Like I do not think you could stretch out Psychopaths to like 50 episodes and it'd be as good, but also maybe the individual episodes would be as good because it's case based. But also like, you know, there's issues with going 25, there's issues with going 50.
Yeah, I mean I guess my thing is if you have 25, write shows that are for 25 episodes.
Yeah.
Which maybe is like inconvenient for a franchise like Ultraman, which is supposed to be about a monster every week.
Yeah.
But I think you could do it. I think you could split it by half. Like I think you could do the first half. The first half is just establish character and the characters and stuff, and then the second half of the show, like literally every week, have a little stinger at the end about the Emmy and the background plot happening in Scarred. Like I think you could do it.
Yeah, have the stinger where Gento recruits Lyle. As opposed to having that in the main episode.
Yeah.
I've had this feeling kind of the last 5-ish or so episodes, but I keep thinking about, especially coming off of Ultra 7, like, when you have less episode count, I feel like when you're doing the episodic Monster of the Week stuff, it almost makes people a little less likely to do the more weirder out there episodic plots, because I think when you as a creator are writing for something that you know is going to be like 40 to 50 episodes, at some point you're going to want to make sure you're not being repetitive, and I think that's kind of where you start to really get out there with the ideas, sometimes for better, sometimes for worse. But
yeah, like sometimes when you have 50 episodes you're spinning your wheels, and sometimes it lets you have breathing room to do like more like put characters in interesting scenarios or weird situations.
Yeah, so I mean, even too, you
pros and cons to it,
and you get to live with like the world, the setting, the crew a little bit more, so you can come up with ideas that are kind of, I don't want to say reactions to what previous ideas were, but I mean, even actually we kind of did get that with Ultraman, where we had two like very distinct views of what Ultraman was competing with each other throughout the run of that original show, which led to some interesting results, especially as far as like the Jisoji stuff is concerned. But even beyond that, and part of this might also just be a demographic issue and where modern tokusatsu is, but I keep thinking about how something like The Stolen Ultra Eye, you're never really going to get an episode like that, I feel like, at least with something like Blazar. I just don't think it has the capacity for that sort of episodic story to be in the mix. And the closest I can think we get to that is that Ultra Q throwback with
I was thinking about that one.
Garamon.
Yeah,
but like that's like the one episode of the show that I think really stands out to me as one I'm going to be thinking about for a long time. And I otherwise really like the show. I think this is a solid 8 out of 10, but I don't know if it's going to stick with me in the same way that like 7 and Q and even like some of the higher highs of Ultraman itself would, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Preemptive postmortem on the series.
A little bit, but I mean...
Yeah, we're at the end.
we're right at the end.
Yeah, I mean, we also have the movie, which I think, for all intents and purposes, is a... I don't know.
That's a monster
There's
of
the finale, and then there's also the movie. But
yeah.
Like,
A movie seems like a monster of the week affair, right?
Yeah. So sometimes the movies are follow-ups to the stories just because they always take after, but like the degree to which that's the case. Because it's sort of the expectation, we get the movie after the show. So
is it always
we'll
is it usually set after the show as well instead of set in the middle of it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that
that's been my experience.
That changes
Just
things in terms of like my expectation of what's going to happen to Gento and Ultraman Blazar at the end of this show.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of poisoned knowledge of the format. Maybe I spoiled it, but also
No. That's fine. That's fine.
It's just like, it is the modern era where it's like, well, yeah, the character's going to come back in the crossovers and stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
There will never be a Toku movie that I feel like reaches the high for me personally as the Kabuto Godspeed Love movie, which is just that is the most like batshit out there premise of a goddamn movie. And when I realized how it all came together and tied into the main series, I clapped. It was phenomenal.
Nice.
But yeah. I feel like
I think
the format Ultraman is like the Monster of the Week show even more so than the other franchises, I think. Also, the realities of modern TV mean you need more of a serialized plot to some degree, even if you're still mostly doing standalone episodic stuff. And so it's just like the challenge of trying to be a classic style Ultra show while also weaving in a plot narrative.
I don't think it's impossible. I think it would actually.
I don't think it's impossible. I just think it's like it you can do it well, you cannot do it well.
Yeah. I think there's some choices made in Blazar where it's like odd. Like I think you need to trim some fat here and there. Like I think as the old guy who's the bad guy of the show, does he matter? Does he he matters, but yeah. And I think add more of the family in, because this is the thing. He's a family guy, and ostensibly, but he's not, because we get to his big scene with his family where he's not gonna say goodbye, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right. That, I guess that makes sense.
Does she know?
You don't like hanging out with him.
Does she know?
She does not know. She doesn't. Here's the thing. He doesn't lie to her enough for her to figure it out, because he's just not around enough. He is lying by absence, which is a much more effective way of lying. But the thing is, this episode is pretty good. So it's like Earth Garon rocks up, has a cool fight. I like Earth Garon. Earth Garon firing big lasers in space. Please, thank you.
Earth Garon is my friend.
Like that's my thing with this show is overall, I find like episode to episode it goes down smooth and it's consistently good. But it's thinking about it as a whole, like especially as it's wrapping up here, I'm just like I feel like this is gonna be one I don't really think about all that. Like I don't really know if the impact is there, which is fine. You know, not everything needs to like stick with you like that. Especially like they're making this for like a younger generation. That's like than the stuff that we've been watching up to this point, even, and maybe isn't going as hard in terms of like social commentary or like kind of telling more complicated stories, and I can be more forgiving from that front of things. But it's just 6 months from now, I don't know how much I'm going to be thinking about Blazar, and considering how positive we've been for most of the ride, that does make me a little bit sad, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. We'll be on Arc in 6 months.
Yeah.
Is that the name? Is that what it's titled?
Yeah.
Well,
I forgot about it until yesterday.
I'm going to treasure these 6 months where I don't have to edit shit for Monday. That's going to be nice. I'm gonna get so much gaming done. I can't get gaming done this month. I have to watch fucking Precure.
Yeah, I have to finish catching up on that. I was watching an episode before we started.
Nice.
I'm still in the 40s though, so I'm like within striking distance.
Yeah. You're doing way better than I am. I got a decent amount to catch up.
Yeah. We'll do a postmortem on that later.
Yeah, we will.
I'll catch up someday. I've never watched Precure.
Apparently,
I just wanted to feel included.
Apparently, the one to watch is Heartcatch.
That's my opinion. It's my favorite. There's other ones you could do as, I don't know. It's one of those franchises, you know.
Mm. I have not felt bad about skipping any. I have not felt bad about skipping the one that I try. It got to a point where it took me like an hour to watch an episode because it was making me upset and mad. And I was like, which is maybe mean to the show, but it is what it is.
That's the one that got a sequel show recently.
It's the one. Yeah, it was Yes 5. It got a sequel where they're all adults, and I was like, that one.
I mean, it is a popular one.
I guess young girls in Japan hate the poor, I guess.
I still need to finish that season. But one day, well.
All right, well...
just like one day, we're going to finish Blazar next week.
We're going to finish Blazar next week. One more episode. Yeah. I guess if anyone has anything to say about Blazar, email in.
Yeah.
If you've been watching along, go for it. Give us your thoughts. Tell us what you think.
Probably mark it as like this is an email for the Blazar specifically, because otherwise we'll just do it in.
Otherwise we'll do it in the main podcast, and we'll be like, "Oops, sorry." All right.
Tell us if you've attended any of the stage plays that are advertised in the Blazar episodes. I doubt it, but
yeah.
One day I'll figure out what the fuck Ultraman Regulus is.
There's a funny story behind that one, actually, but I won't tell you it now.
Okay.
You'll have to find out in 8 years.
Yeah.
8 years. All right.
Actually, no, wait. I thought Regulus was someone else. Never mind. I don't actually know the story behind Regulus. Anyway, 8 years.
Yeah, 2032. I assume it's not a real number. That is the podcast. We're done talking about Blazar, I think. If you want to follow the show, you can do so on Twitter at @ultra_Q. That is at @ultra_QUEUE. I am also on Twitter at @gender_redacted. I mostly just post. It's not actually important. Mel.
I also post on Twitter and Blue Sky. We have an email, ultraqpod@gmail.com. Send emails if you want. Coffee on ultraqfund. Resin. Brad.
Oh, you fucked up. You called me Ultra 7. No. That was weirdly targeted. I'm sorry.
We're gonna have a Razen jar. We have to put a coin in every time.
So, you can find me at my YouTube channel, Canopus Invoke. I'm still streaming Tekken with my friend Jake. Yesterday we tried streaming Tekken 6 and it was laggy as shit. That was because I had forgotten, either I'd forgotten or a Windows update forced my computer back on, and it was overheating. I shut it down, gave it a few hours, and then tried my same exact setup again, and it ran smoothly. So we will get back to emulating Tekken 6 and finishing the story mode, and then playing through that terrible story mode they have in Tekken 7, and we'll be caught up in time to play Tekken 8 story mode. Looking forward to it. Learning a lot about the Devil Gene. I didn't even need Brian Cox to explain it to me. And then also you can find me at Twitter at B_invoked, and then also on Blue Sky, which I need to post on more at B_invoked. All one word.
Can I tell you something? A British people problem. I assume no one has this problem in America. I know Brian Cox is an actor. That is not the most recognizable Brian Cox to me. The most recognizable Brian Cox to me is a fucking loser who's he's a physicist, like astrophysicist or something, and he did a bunch of science programs, and then started being like turfy online.
Oh
no!
And he's a weird dweeb and a loser. And when people said Brian Cox, it's like they put Brian Cox as advertising Tekken. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Look at this fucking guy.
Oh no, he looks very punchable.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He is. Don't like him. All right.
What a stupid haircut.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope no one listening to this has Brian Cox's haircut. If you do, and by that I don't mean I hope we didn't offend you. I mean change it. No. All right. That is the episode. Bye bye. We'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
See ya for Blazar End. Bye.